What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 7 of Mando Mondays. This episode was insane. I'm still trying to figure out what is going on, what is going to go from here. Of course, we are going to break it all down for you guys tonight. We have my man Jason from Colorado Pops coming in tonight as usual, and the legend, the Star Wars knowledge guru, Domtober, will also be joining us. I see we got some people already queued up in the chat. What's going on, guys? We got Kenneth Bird, Andrew Weeble, Jedi John, Rock and Roll. What's up, man? Rodney Miller. What's going on, guys? Nick Bear's in the house. We have a crazy episode to talk about tonight. This felt like a finale episode. However, it's only episode 6. We got 2 more episodes of season 2. I'm so pumped and a little sad because we only have 2 more episodes, but we got a lot going on tonight. After this live stream, we are going to be live on Professor Josh's channel. We're going to be watching Parker from Monthly Pops, his Whatnot auction. So this is just part 1 of the excitement for tonight. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got a little bit of a giveaway for you guys, and we're making a huge push to get to 800 subscribers. We are only 8 away. So call your mom, call your grandma, see if your dog has a YouTube account, because we are getting really close, and we're really exciting. What's up, Collecting with Red? But I don't want to waste any more time just showing you guys my ugly mug. So we're going to get in our 2 guests for tonight. What is going on? Jason.
What's going on?
What's up? And of course, we have the legend himself, Domtober. What's up, man?
What's up?
All geared up in the helmet. I love it. I love it.
Awesome,
Oh, man. Woo! How you guys doing? I still got the feels from that episode. That was insane.
Oh, yeah.
Now, right off the bat, was that the best episode of season 2 so far? Best episode.
It's up there. It's really up there.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say best episode.
Listen, it was the best episode for 37 years of a wait to see Boba Fett in action. Definitely worth the wait.
Listen, they crammed a lot into that short episode too.
They really did. And I know a lot of people were worried. A lot of people were like, oh, no, it's going to be a short episode. We're not going to get that much. It's going to be a filler episode. How many people were like, this is filler. This is filler. We got 3 more episodes left.
Listen, they kept us in the dark. We didn't know it was going to be a Boba Fett episode.
Yeah.
We had
no
no
idea.
idea.
Expecting to be another delay getting the Typhon.
Yeah.
Look, the only thing that I was concerned about, that they're just pumping things out, getting to the planets with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Typhon was actually a planet where there was a lot of electrical storms. He needed navigation. He got there with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing about it. You know, I know they have to push it to make it happen, but I didn't expect that.
No.
Well, I didn't expect half the stuff. I didn't really expect anything in this episode. Right off the bat, like Jason said, I did not expect them to even make it to Typhon, because every single planet he's set out to get to, so far, there's been a detour or something has gone wrong. I thought the Empire, this was what I thought. I thought Moff Gideon and, his legion of guys were going to catch up with Mando before he even got to the planet. That was what I
actually thought he was going to get to the planet for the season finale, and all craziness was going to break out.
Right. I thought that the Jedi Temple was going to be, the end game where everybody was going to meet up. That's where you were going to have the, Return of the Night Owls, Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, everybody, Boba Fett, like everybody converged on this one location.
It's coming.
We got it 2 episodes early.
Yeah. The one down, it was short. That was another downside. 27 minutes. You want it to be a little bit longer, but the action they put into that, just a containered episode where just one small spot was the entire episode, and it worked.
Yep.
Robert Rodriguez is a genius.
Yep. And he came on last minute too. He was a fill-in director for that episode.
Yeah.
So, and then it was, you're watching it and you're like, okay, they made it to the rock. That's cool. And then you hear the rumbling in the ship and you're like, okay, the Empire's here.
Right.
And no, it's Slave One in the sky.
Dude, as soon as I saw the Slave One coming in, I was like, no.
Yeah. He was just cruising the sky looking for a landing place. And, oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Boom.
That ship's iconic.
Oh,
when Slave One came down, when I seen Slave One, my body just felt the enjoyment, and I felt like a kid again.
Yeah.
just the hair stood up my arms. I was ecstatic. I couldn't help it. I was like,
Yeah.
the only thing, it was too late. It was 3:00 in the morning watching this thing. My wife's sleeping. I had to be quiet. I'm like,
I didn't watch it till Friday night around 1 in the morning. So like almost 24 hours later after it dropped. And I'm just shocked that I was able to navigate through a whole day through Instagram and YouTube and my friends and not have a single spoiler. So I don't know if everyone.
We usually watch it as a family on Friday nights. That's our big, like, it's Mando Friday when it comes in, and we order a pizza, and that's, it's the whole. And I got through the whole day, like I said, without hearing anything.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if because it was the shortest episode and everyone was expecting it to be filler, there wasn't as many people who stayed up. There wasn't as many people running to see, what the episode was going to be about, because we all knew episode 5 was going to have Ahsoka. So I felt like everyone stayed up. Everybody was like, it's Ahsoka time, baby. We got to do this.
Look, having Ahsoka come in and then dropping Thrawn's name and then having this episode next. Oh my God. It's like a Star Wars fanboy dream coming.
I don't know how they top it. Like, I don't know how they go from here, but we're going to break it all down. So Slave One roaring in after Mando and Grogu, which I loved the opening scene where it was a very simple scene, but it was almost like when your dog, I mean, I hate to reference Grogu as a dog or a pet, but like if you have a dog and you know that like when he or she finally starts to recognize his name, and Din Djarin was just having fun like Grogu, I love that. That was
he
awesome.
was laughing.
Yeah, that was
I've
awesome.
never heard him laugh before like that. Like,
no,
he's enjoying it.
And that was awesome. And so I want to touch on one of Dom's theories, because I think right here is where we get a little taste of it, and that's your theory of Din Djarin being force sensitive. And I think that scene was just like a little nugget, a little tidbit of what's to come, because he was talking about how he wasn't strong enough to train Grogu, and that if they came in contact with another Jedi, that Grogu was going to have to give him up, like a child or like a father giving up his adoptive child. He was struggling just telling Grogu.
His voice was cracking.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to meet more like you. They're going to take care of you. And he said, he really truly believes, he fell in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that the different side of the train tracks there. He's a Jedi. He's powerful. He's a Mandalorian. But like I said, if it does happen that he's force sensitive because of all the diversity, him growing up in the cult faction of the Mandalorians, to hid his powers, because you got to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, something big like that has to happen. They're not going to just not have him, just not have him have some type of a power ability to work with the kid. Because think about it, when the armorer told him, he could never work, you have to send him to his own kind. He won't survive the Mandalorian waves. Now, his own kind, he's a Jedi. He got powers. So the Mandalorian ways can't be as tough as Jedi powers, if you really think about it.
I think it's just different.
Different. Yeah, because the Mandalorians are more tactical fighting. Jedi, their training is mostly,
it's mental.
Think about their early youngling training is mostly learning the Force and learning the ways to control it. They don't get into saber battles until they're older. Whereas the Mandalorian training is, they start them young with weapons. If you go back to season 1, when Queel's taking him to the Jawas, he's like, lower your weapons. And he's like, no, weapons are my religion.
Yeah.
They train them at a young age to be vicious and be fighters and warriors. Whereas the Jedi, the warrior, is the secondary part of the nature. So you're right. He probably would die in the Mandalorian trials because he's not.
Well, they're exact opposites. And that's
slow that he's not ready for it.
But he's 50 years old. So he's been training already. When Ahsoka said that he had multiple masters and he was training, he has training under his belt now. We didn't know that back then.
Well, some though, but you gotta figure if he's about 50, and it's about 30 years post Clone Wars, so he was only training for maybe his first 20 years, and then he's been hiding it for 30. So he's got less involvement. He's been more out of it than he's been into it. So yeah, it's gonna come back to him eventually, but it'll come back slower, I think.
But I think to touch on that really quick, like a Jedi and a Mandalorian are almost polar opposites because Jedis, they're keepers of the peace, essentially. They always want peace, but they're always right in the center of conflict. It's kind of like an oxymoron right there. But they are keepers of the peace, where I feel like, Mandalorians, they're like the Spartan warriors. They're always training. They're trying to be the best. They take pride in their weapons, their armor, their clan. And the other thing, too, that when you're comparing Mandalorians and Jedi, is Jedi are taught to not love, to not have affection, not to grow attached to things. Where it's different with Mandalorians. They're looking out for their foundlings. That was a big thing in season 1. Always make sure there's Beskar and a little bit for the foundlings. Like, they're always looking out for, the ones behind them, and they're looking out for their own clan. It's like a brotherhood. So it's like polar opposites right here. But I think these two ideologies are really going to come into play in the future with where Grogu ends up.
Yeah.
Because remember, he hid his powers because he's been scared of what's been going on. So that's why the powers come out very, very far few in between. So we don't know. We're gonna see what happens as it.
We're gonna see what happens. I think that moment is. I think you're absolutely correct, Dom, and it might not be something until we find out till season 3 or 4. But I 100% get back behind your theory that Din Djarin is force sensitive. So, but anyway, moving on. We made it to Tarfon, and I did not think we were actually going to get there. So and he was just cruising in the atmosphere, like nobody gave him a hard time. No rebel X-wings, coming over to pull him over or anything. So I liked, they threw in some more humor. He had to circle around. He wasn't able to land. He looked back at Grogu and said, "We're going to have to do this one with the windows down." And that was the pop, the jetpack pop that we got with him carrying Grogu there. And I kind of got like an Iron Man vibe right there as him like soaring up. I thought that was pretty cool. And then they just land right in the temple, still unfazed, nobody's around. And he just puts him on the rock and says, "Hey kid, do your thing. You got it."
I like when he puts the visor down to see what's going on around there. Is there a lever or something?
Yeah, he's looking for a switch or something.
Yeah. But the one thing we did see was the blue butterfly. That was significant.
The blue butterflies were in the Vader comic when Vader was meditating. One of the issues, he was meditating in his mind. The blue butterflies represent goodness. Still in. So it's important.
What's going on, Anthony? Just Blaze. So really quick, a bunch of people are asking and talking about it. So we will mention there was some Mando Monday drops today. Were you guys both able to grab the Moff Gideon T-shirt and pop?
Yep.
Yes, I got it.
Nice.
Did you get the glow in the dark?
One of my other friends picked it up for me, so shout out to him.
Yep.
But I think I was actually a little bummed with it at first, but with the darksaber glowing in the dark, that's kind of cool.
I just want to see how the glow looks on it. It's
like a mirror image.
Saber. I mean, I've seen glow pops with small pieces like that don't really turn out the best.
Yeah.
So I'll wait and see what it shows up as.
So they say that the darksaber is in the opposite hand, like it's backwards. Like they did a different like side view, like it's like putting it in a mirror. They did it like that. So
now, white. It should be like
why do you think they did that? Just because it was like a cheap mold, or do you think there's any significance to it being mirrored?
Funko, they want to milk it.
Truth.
It struck me as the same mold that Gideon already had. It looked almost exactly the same, and then just made it glow in the dark, which is what they did for the Mando that Hot Topic dropped, or not Hot Topic, GameStop dropped today.
The GameStop came out too. Glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Came out.
But it's the same mold, but it just glows in the dark.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed. Like whenever they do that, I was personally hoping that they were going to do. I thought Cobb Vanth would be a really unique opportunity for the pop and tee, just because of his hair. Like they could have really like done an eccentric like hair on the T-shirt and everything. That would have been cool. Ahsoka, I thought they were going to capitalize on. Like we just saw her. Everyone's talking about her. It could have been Boba Fett, with all the Boba Fett stuff we just got, or it could have been another Mando, or if they really wanted to make everyone go nuts with merchandise, they could have done Grogu. They could have done the first official
Grogu
collectible item that said Grogu.
Don't worry,
they will.
No, I know it's coming. It's coming.
Before Christmas, they're gonna drop pictures of the next wave. Will probably be about 10 to 12 pops, guaranteed.
I'm gonna go broke.
We're already broke. I can't even walk in our studio. There's so many pops. But anyway, getting back to the episode. So like you said, the blue butterflies are significant, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dom. They signify that there's force.
Goodness, the light
light side of the force is present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool, and he was fixated on it, which I thought was a unique thing right away. And then of course, Din Djarin's getting a little frustrated, like, come on, I brought you to this rock, like, you know, Ahsoka said this is how it would work, and it wasn't working at first, and then sure enough, who soars in but the Slave One.
Now, question: Slave One had to have a tracking on his ship too, as well, to follow him.
You think, or you think you're something in the armor?
No, there had to be something in the armor. He was tracking the armor.
Tracking his armor.
Yeah, exactly. Because he had the whole thing later on in the episode. We'll talk about it. But, you know, he came at the same time. The light force came, and he couldn't get Grogu off the rock because everything happened at once. That was cool.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny that he charged the force barrier, got rocketed back, and I thought that was pretty funny. Like, he was like, we got to get out of here. He knew this was bad, and we got to get out of here. And of course, we see from a distance through the thermal visor in his helmet, you know, we see Boba Fett coming out, and I was shocked. I know this was like a huge moment for everyone. There was rumor that the Slave One, so I saw this. There was rumor that Slave One itself was going to make an appearance in the show. Now, I thought it was just going to be in the background, or maybe Mando would uncover it. I did not expect it to be flying in, and I definitely did not expect Boba Fett.
Well, a reason why it was on the set, because they're filming the Boba Fett series right now.
Yeah.
So apparently they're trying to get a lot of shows out because we're headed for another
shutdown.
So they want to get stuff before January 20th. So they're doing multiple things at one time. So it was there, and they filmed that little scene, and now it's ready for the prequel when it comes out.
Right. It's crazy. And if you guys don't know this, I don't know how you don't know Slave One, but Slave One is arguably the most iconic ship in Star Wars, and of course, it belongs to none other than Boba Fett. And we have some theories. We'll definitely be breaking down and talking about the ships later on tonight, because it'll be pretty significant. I know Dom has some theories, so we're going to talk about that because something pretty significant happens. But sure enough, Boba Fett comes over, and Din Djarin runs down to try to see what's going on, and ends up getting shot at a little bit before he confronts Tamara Morrison's Boba Fett
as a hooded figure.
Yeah,
and he goes, "Are you a Jedi?" Which is very funny.
Yeah.
Mace Windu, he hates Mace Windu, and he hates the Jedi. Well, he didn't particularly hate the Jedi. He just hated Mace Windu for killing Jango.
Yeah, it's a personal vendetta against me.
Yeah, he killed his dad. That's pretty, legit.
Pretty good reason to hate somebody.
What's up, the Culinary Trapper? Thanks for stopping by. Let's start a pop collections in the house. What's up, Jeremy?
Oh, I know Jeremy just binge watched it like last weekend, so he's finally caught up.
He did? Oh, yeah. There you go. We're getting more Mando fans in the house. Nice. I love it.
He messaged me when he binged the whole thing, and he was like, I can't believe I have to wait for the next episode.
Yeah, welcome to our lives where I just count down to Friday. So
yeah, my wife watched it last night because she I had to force her to see the Ahsoka episode, and she's seen that but missed the one prior. So we watched all three of them going straight across, and she was seeing how excited I was for the 6th time watching the episode.
Nice.
I'm gonna keep watching it.
Nice. We got Randy in the house. What's up, Randy? So of course now he asked Boba Fett if he's a Jedi, and sure. I love how blunt Boba Fett is. He's like, no, I'm not a Jedi. He says his iconic line, I'm just a simple man trying to make his way through the galaxy, which was a nice callback to the original trilogy.
Like my father before me, Luke Skywalker with Vader, which is really cool.
Yeah. And he does another big name drop with Jango Fett. And if you guys didn't know, Jango Fett, Boba Fett's dad, also another famous bounty hunter. He was the most famous until they created the Boba Fett character. So that was pretty cool. But I'm actually, so really quick side note, because of the name drop with Jango Fett, I was actually thinking about how cool would it get if we were able to get a Jango Fett series, and you found out, because we don't really know much about Jango Fett. We found out more about him in this.
Like a backstory with him, and like
just to see like his adventures, and now that we know, he was a foundling and everything. Like,
Open Season is a Force Limited series from Dark Horse Comics. It's his backstory when Jester Fett actually raised him as his own. And when he died, he took the mantle as Jango. But that wasn't canon until now. That series is now blowing up on the charts. People are buying that book. It was a $1 bin book. Now it's about $30, $40 book.
Oh, I bet. I'm sure overnight, too.
Yep.
What's up, Geekstronomy? How's it going? So... anyway, so we find out that Boba Fett's, or Jango Fett is Boba Fett's dad, and so for any of those who of you guys who are coming into the Mandalorian series did not know that, you can now make the connection. And he starts demanding his armor, and of course Mando, his instinct, I feel like no matter who he comes in contact with, he's like, "Are you trying to get the child? Are you looking to get the child?
Yeah.
Or you want my armor?"
Or you want my
armor. You can pry it off my cold dead body.
Right. But he makes it pretty clear. He goes, "No, I want my armor."
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Actually, for this longest time, they brought back in the canon Jango Fett, his backstory. But the armor itself was Jango's armor that he modified for himself.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought maybe, but now they finally gave the confirmation that Jango's armor became Boba Fett's armor.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. So, and
it's cool too, because the armor is like traveling through the generations and everything, and I think it's awesome. He took the shiny silver and blue armor and he made it his own, and I think that was a really cool touch that they added in this episode.
It changes from generation to generation, because even like if you go back to Bo-Katan's, when he questioned about her armor, she said, "This has been in my armor. This has been in my family for generations." So the armor, the Beskar, is passed down generations. For Mando to get a brand new suit in season 1 out of that Beskar that he recovered, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
he's starting a lineage there.
That's also crazy. Yeah, I mean, just to throw in a little bit of humor, I was also thinking, I was like, that's a lot of pressure. I mean, what if you're a little bit heavier than your mom or your dad? You got to make sure you work out and fit that.
When he suited up later in the episode, he looks. It's a little tight fit on him. You can tell.
Maybe there's some adjusters, in there.
Well, what's funny, when Mando told him, "Who's your creed?" He goes, "My alliance is no one," which is actually awesome.
Yeah. Which
is awesome. I like that, because Boba Fett.
And I think that was very good that they added that in there, so everyone knows. Even Joanna asked me, she was like, "Is he bad? Is he good?" I was like, "No, Boba Fett is neutral. He's out. He's out for himself, but because he's out for himself, he's one of the most dangerous people in the galaxy." Because
he works for the highest bidder too. Like, he had nothing against Han Solo. It was Jabba paid him to go get him. Yeah. And then Vader eventually paid him to go. He pulled 2 bounties on that.
Yeah.
In that one capture. So, and he was just working for the highest bidder. And he's the best at what he does. And he'll take out any of the competition he needs to. But he's his own man. He does his own thing. He swears his allegiance to no one. And that's what makes him so dangerous. Because he might be working for you, but then if somebody else pays him more, forget it. There's no allegiance.
It's temporary, and it's all tied to money or whatever the goods are.
Look, the one thing about the Mandalorians, that they have their creed, their honor. They're honorable men. A lot of them became bounty hunters, because now we found out that Mando was a bounty hunter. So it brings back, like I was telling John earlier, you're a bounty hunter and mercenary in the galaxy, Din Djarin, and you don't know Boba Fett, the most notorious bounty hunter, one of the greatest in the universe, in the galaxy, and you are just dumbfounded, not knowing who he is.
Yeah,
like the armor.
Yeah. He should be bounty hunter lore. Like he should be like, you're Boba Fett. That's your armor I've got. He should have been a little bit more. I think you're right. Taking back.
And another thing,
more like the only to play devil's advocate on that is if Din Djarin's been out in the Outer Rim. And Boba Fett and Jango were known in the main planets. Maybe his name hadn't gotten out that far.
But look, like I think also to go back to the fact that he was in a cult and he was brainwashed and he was
true.
actually away from the rest of the world, which is understandable. Or it could be bad writing on purpose to a point where it's all going to come out later on. Like it goes back to the armor. The armorer knows a lot more than she's actually given out to. You're going to find out her true colors. And she could be the one that's involved in this entire thing.
Yeah.
Without anybody knowing. So we will definitely see. But
so Jeremy, that's something we're going to touch on later on. That's a very important line from the episode, and we're definitely going to touch on that. So we're talking to Boba. He makes it clear, works for no one. I got to get my armor, and kind of looks over at the Razor Crest. And but who else is coming in? We have first we have one enemy transport with the.
You got to bring in the sniper first.
Oh, that's right. You brought in the sniper. That's right. You brought in Finnick.
You brought. I can't remember her name right now.
Wait, is it Finnick or
Fennec? Yeah,
Finnick Shen.
From the last season, who we all thought was dead.
Yeah.
At the end of that episode, you see that footprint, that foot walk up to her body, and at that point, a lot of us had assumed that was Cobb Vanth. That maybe found her, but it was actually Boba Fett, which was the other rumor. So, she shows up and he's like, I'll drop you before you're dead. I'm wearing Beskar. And he's like, no, the target's on the kid. We don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, that's when Boba Fett turns around and says, let's talk this out.
Yep.
Take off your jetpack. The jetpack. Yeah. That's a big thing we're going to talk about later on.
Yeah.
Take your jetpack off.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about this. So when she comes down, Mando is like, damn. I mean, he's like, you're alive. He said, you've seen a ghost. And it shows that she opens up her stomach and she has the Luke hand thing is going inside there, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Which it gets to a point where everybody's half cyborg in Star Wars, which it makes me laugh.
So Geekstronomy, yes, we're renaming this show to Dom was right again. That's the new title every week. So
nah, come on, nah. Listen,
Dom was mostly right.
I love it. I love it when I do get it right.
Yeah.
But no, all kidding aside, I appreciate that. But it's kind of funny if you got the same vibe. With the whole thing that Fennec Shan made the comment. Is the bounty is doubled on your little friend
significantly.
Yeah,
significantly. So that's a little tidbit for later on down the road. If you think about it. But because Boba Fett, now that we've seen him in action in an episode, you always know him as a notorious bounty hunter. Take no prisoners. Always follow that dead or alive, type of a mentality, and for himself the highest bidder. So to see him reasoning with Mando,
well, that's how bad he wanted his armor. He was gonna say whatever it took. He said, "Weapons down. Let's do it slowly. Take off your jetpack. She's gonna, stand down her rifle." Like that's how bad he wanted his armor, and we can assume, kind of through the timeline, that he's been without it for a little while now. From his escape from the Sarlacc pit to when the Jawas had it. It's been a little while since he's been without his armor.
Well, look, we're gonna find out hopefully next year when they have the spinoff, the prequel, to show you what happens. But I'm come to thinking that how come he didn't go for it with Cobb Vanth? He knew it was there, so that's the reason why he probably didn't go for it, and he was probably hiding out for the time being because of everything that happened. If he would have came out and tried to get his armor, people would say, "Oh, Boba Fett's back." He healed 100% what he needed to heal,
right? And
then took his time, but he kind of knew that the armor's not going anywhere. It's here on Tatooine, so that's why he stayed, and until Din Djarin came and got it. So now it's kind of cool that he stayed among the Tusken Raiders, and so we're gonna find that out too when the time comes that if they're the ones that saved him and pulled him out of the Sarlacc, or if he crawled that himself.
Right.
And we'll see about that, but
I think he blasted his way out.
Yeah, and also
with his new rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool with knee rockets. So anyway, then we have the Moff Gideon's stormtrooper shuttle basically roar in, and I saw this online as well, but I thought of it immediately. It had the way it was designed. It looked a little bit similar, almost like a prototype to the First Order trooper
It
shuttle.
was.
Yeah.
It actually was the First Order's dropships, which little hints that it's aiming towards the First Order.
Yeah, things are slowly evolving that way.
Yeah.
So that should be fun. Look, say what you got to say about the sequel trilogy. And people are going to always never be happy, but it did have a lot of good parts to it.
It had some moments.
Mm-hmm. It could have been better. We're all saying it could have been better, but think about this: the generation now is very lucky they get more Star Wars now from when I was growing up. After Return of the Jedi, nothing until the Phantom Menace. So all this stuff coming out now, even though it might not have been to par where the diehard fans that I don't even think they're diehard fans. I think they just want to be mad at everything because
people just like to complain. Yeah,
but I like the buildup. You got 25 years to go before the events of The Force Awakens. So if they build along it and all this cool stuff in it, we're going to have a nice ride along the way.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And but I do have to say, though, I enjoyed the 28 minutes or 29 minutes we got of this one episode. I thought that was way better than all the sequel trilogy combined.
Hey, as they say, the best fan-made film.
Yeah, that episode just hit the ground running and didn't stop, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
One thing after another. It's like the dropship comes. They're fighting there. The second dropship comes. They're still fighting. And then Boba disappears, and then all of a sudden he's back in his armor after he beats him.
But before he even gets his armor, he was a complete badass.
He went John Wick.
Yeah, exactly. He was Star Wars John Wick. He went Keanu Reeves on their ass.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He showed you how the gaffy stick really works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny we talk about this. I was watching something. This really was a pretty violent type of episode. In violence towards stormtroopers, Boba Fett really jabbed the stormtrooper in his chest.
Yeah.
He was all emotions, heartless.
No, he hit the one and his helmet just exploded.
Yeah. Dozens of stormtroopers were hurt in the making of this episode. Yeah.
Hazard pay, man.
This number. Yeah.
And that commander was just sending his guys he's like, move, you idiot. And then that guy dies.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see Fat and Shan running across the thing when they had the big the rifle shooting along the
E-Web,
formation, which was the action was nonstop.
And that was
look at a mortar trooper too, though. We hadn't seen one of those yet.
Oh yeah. Which I thought was kind of funny. Side note, once again, I thought it was really funny. He was bracing and covering his ears. Isn't he already wearing a helmet? But
the helmets. Look, even Din Djarin, when Moff Gideon the episode shot the power box and knocked him out.
Yeah,
the helmets do protect, but not that
true.
much.
I just thought it was funny. Typically, that's like a World War I soldier thing because they weren't wearing anything, so they had to duck and cover their ears. But it was just funny.
They made the scene much cooler than what it's supposed to be.
But as soon as I saw him, I was like, I want that pop. I want that trooper. I want that pop.
He's coming.
Trooper pop would be sweet.
He's definitely coming.
I love all the troopers. They can make every single color, every single type, every single specialty. I want them all.
They had a stand. They had a cardboard cutout of that trooper before it even showed. And for that little scene, they love doing that. They love making characters that have a small second in the movies and in TV.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember. They did make a Cos Baby figure of that trooper. I just don't remember what they called it. I don't remember. But anyway, so they were taking out the troopers left and right. And Dom, you brought up a good point. I think it was last week or the week before. Or troopers are expendable. They don't care. And Empire, Moff Gideon, they don't care. They'll just blow through. They'll just make more. They'll just
Moff Gideon at the end of the episode that he just doesn't care about his troopers. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Look, he was mowing him down like crazy, and then we do get the scene after. Well, the fact is that Din Djarin what's sad that Din Djarin was trying to get the child off the rock for so long. He tells him finally, "Listen, kid, I'm going to come back for you. Just stay tight." And as soon as he goes down the hill,
the shield drops.
Stops.
Yep.
So
that sucked. That was bad. That was
bad
timing. So,
but he gets down there and he was helping Fenn Shan with the shooting. He was getting hit like crazy. He feels it, but it was blocking it. That Beskar armor is really cool.
Yeah, he was shielding her with it, and he was taking the brunt of the shots.
Yeah, and kind of like letting her, do the sniping or do the sharpshooting.
He knows she's a better shot than he is. So
yeah, and she had the heavier weapon.
Yeah.
But
and then of course we have the big badass moment of the episode. Dom's man, Boba Fett with the armor, with the dad bod.
Dad bod Boba.
Rocking the dad bod, which I thought was awesome. Like everybody who's in their 60s, like you can still do it. If Boba Fett can do it, you can do it.
Listen, as soon as he came, he just started, oh man, just wiping people out. It was awesome. And then the knee rockets were the best.
Oh, the knee rockets were awesome. And when he shot the knee rockets, all the other troopers were like, all right, that's it. And they ran away. They were like, we're done. We're done.
And then he shot the trooper in the chest, and the trooper went flying. Look, Boba Fett was a certified badass, what he's always meant to be. And
as soon as the knee rockets came out, that's when all his pops started to go up.
Definitely. Wait, listen. Look, with the Tusken Raider outfit that he had on, underneath the armor, that's going to be a pop, guarantee. And then
I'll take it.
He's going to get his jumpsuit back on. He's going to modify the armor. He's going to have some new attachments to it when we see him again.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Absolutely.
Giving you a paint job too. It's a little scuffed.
Yeah,
no matter what, we're going to see him again. It's just how much at this point.
Well, at this point, he's Mando's ride.
Yeah.
They're teamed up until they get the kid back. So, I mean, Boba could be there the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Well, look, we all know what happens to the two transports. Boba Fett shot the missile, which, again, where did he get the missile?
Exactly. All right. So I was about to say that. Where did he get the missile? Because Cobb Vanth shot the missile, and we haven't seen, Mando's been busy. So when did he have time to pull over at Star Wars Space Depot and grab another missile?
It's all, you know what? It's all good. At least
I know it's all good, but it's kind of like a significant thing. It's not just like an extra magazine of bullets or, inevitable endless laser fire. It's a whole other Nerf rocket.
Yeah. And it's not like Mando's pack has the missile where he grabbed one off his ship and reloaded it. Mando doesn't have those missiles. And where did Cobb Vanth get the other missile? Because it showed him shoot it in the first episode.
Right.
Think about this. He probably went back to his ship. He got
he didn't have time. No way. I don't buy that. He put on the armor, said, "Oh, there's no missile. I got to go back and grab one." And then he came back out and was like,
"Hey, look, he couldn't even bend down a little bit. It was a little snug for him bending down to shoot the missile even more."
Yeah, he couldn't have bent. Yeah, he could barely bend down. You're thinking he jogged back to the Slave One and then came back out? No.
You know what? I love it. Every moment, every second, loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have looked right. It wouldn't have looked right if he had come out and all badass and there was no missile. So I understand why they did it.
They had you know what? They'll explain it later on. A certain point of view, they'll have it. Mandalorian, certain point of view.
There's just one line around.
When what they'll probably say when Cobb Vanth was packing up Mando and gave him a sack lunch on the way to his next planet, he said, "Oh, by the way, here I have extra missiles."
I have extra missiles.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, there we go. We already figured it out.
Hey,
there we go.
Maybe Boba had the missiles in his Slave One. That's the whole thing. We don't know, but
maybe he had them in his little Tusken Raider manny pack. I don't know. Whatever.
But anyway. You had to open it up, take it out.
He destroyed the two ships, and I like his one-liner. I was aiming for the other one.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome. But then what happens?
Unfortunately, what happens next is something that you've predicted for a long time. However, I agreed with you. I just didn't think it was going to happen until the last episode. I thought that was going to be the big, chop to the knees at the end of the season.
The foreshadowing of that ship getting beat up, refixed, beat up, and then finally taken out. was people were like, "That's the tragedy." That was the ship gone. So if you look at it now, that he has to move on to something new, because he's gonna probably get a ship. We're gonna talk about that in a minute.
He has to.
But that the ship was like the last part of who he was, as you really think about it. Until I know it's coming, but the ship was a big part of who he was, and now it's gone.
Well, adding to that, I saw this on Facebook. Did you see the meme of the people that spent $130 on the Razor Crest Lego set, and then it's just a pile of Legos? Like, I could have built it for $30 or whatever. Just a pile of bricks.
How about the HasLab? The HasLab.
Yeah, he's gonna bust it out. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Throw it.
No, the Jawas are gonna build it. The Jawas are building it right now. They can rebuild it. Yeah, they got it. Yeah. So did I just waste all my money on this?
No. You know what? You know what's funny? You said had they fixed the ship like in one episode real quick, right?
Yeah.
The next episode, you have a brand new ship. Razor Crest 2. But
no, I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I mean, I've really, and in regards to that, I think that was such a shock. First off, the real tragedy is that we didn't get a Mando and Razor Crest Funko Pop before it was destroyed. I think that's the real tragedy in my book.
Another thing is, look, people who paid for the HasLab, right? They paid that $380.
I believe you're one of them.
Unfortunately, but also he lost his pulse rifle in the ship.
That was mentioned. Yeah, no pulse rifle gone. Yeah,
and they came out with a Nerf one today.
Little behind. Yeah, a little behind.
Way behind.
But there was another weapon he was able to recover that was very significant, and that was the Beskar spear there. Yeah.
Also, the knob.
The knob. Yeah, the knob is going to be very important down the road for sure.
I'm gonna bet I'll throw out a wild theory here then.
All right, I like these.
I'm gonna say Grogu's gonna slightly turn at some point, and Mando's gonna bring the knob out, and that's gonna click in his brain that not to kill Mando. He's going to be like force choking him or something because Gideon's going to brainwash him. He's going to pull that out, and that's going to be a key factor.
Oh yes, definitely. And there's a reason. You know what's funny? The knob, the stone, everything's round. The Death Star. There's a reason that balls they love to have spheres and round shaped objects.
Boba Fett's dad bod, round.
Yeah. Like I was saying, like I told you earlier, they said that the Crate Dragon didn't. He got his way out. He ate the Sarlacc pit.
He ate the Sarlacc pit. Yeah. So now, I mean, do we think that he's going to get a new Razor Crest, or do we think he's going to get a new ship altogether so he can sell more toys?
Well, I believe apparently Naboo is supposed to be coming. There's a rumor that they're going to Naboo. He might get one of the ships at Naboo. Or, if you really want to go crazy theory, he's going to wind up with Slave One. Boba Fett is going to give him Slave One.
No, I don't like this theory.
No, he won't give up Slave One. That's his dad's ship. He's not giving it.
My thing is that it's one of two things. Like I actually told John earlier, Slave One is the most iconic ship. They can make a lot of money. You make a new Slave One with Mando. But it's kind of crazy that they would do that because Slave One, you don't want to throw off secondary.
I think that would piss off. I think that would piss off more people than it would please.
Mm-hmm.
Either that, or he's going to get the ship in Naboo, one of the nice, the sleek, bright, shiny ships from the army over there. One of those fighters, which would be pretty cool with him in it. His shiny Beskar armor in the shiny ship.
Yeah, Or is he gonna like meet somebody, or are they gonna bring him, or is he gonna go to another planet and they're gonna go if they show him a bunch of ships or something, and then they'll be like, well, we have this old rusty Razor Crest over here if you want to fix it up, and is he gonna get another Razor Crest and have to build it back up maybe? Because I mean, I feel like the Razor Crest has become, even though it's short lived, I feel like it has become a symbol. Like Mando's with the Razor Crest, Boba's with Slave One,
and Millennium Falcon with Han Solo.
Right, Millennium Falcon with Han Solo. Yeah.
Look,
it's her excuse to go back to Corellia though, because that's the manufacturing planet for ships. So if he could go, they could run him to Corellia.
It could happen.
They could do all sorts of stuff with that.
Yeah, sure. We do have one more episode before the finale. We could go Mando ship shopping. I like that.
Well, look, I look at it this way. By the end of
Come
the
on down
season,
to Crazy Greedo's Ship Emporium.
by the end of the season, if he doesn't get a ship in the end of the season, by next season, he'll get a brand new ship in the beginning when things happen. Because, look, this is going to end bad.
I mean, it's already pretty bad.
The rest of the season is going to be downhill for Mando, and
Yeah.
it's going to get the lowest, the season finale. And it's going to be one of those Empire Strikes Back endings where all hope is lost. And, of course, next season.
That's where like this episode ended, though. It almost ended on that note.
There's not much hope. I mean, he lost. We already mentioned he lost his ship. He lost his pulse rifle. The jetpack is up in the air.
The jetpack's still around. He'll pick.
The jetpack's still around, but I mean, he didn't go back and grab it right away. I'm sure
Maybe off screen.
Yeah.
But if he lost that, he lost his rifle, his ship, his jetpack, and Grogu. He lost everything.
Yeah, the biggest thing, of course, he lost Grogu to another future pop, I'm sure. The Dark Troopers made their official appearance.
Which they're getting a pop, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I read all this stuff about them today. So they're supposed to be the Dark Trooper program is this hybrid force sensitive beings with robotics that Moff Gideon has resurrected that the Empire was working on. However, in the show, I didn't really see any. Those look like full robotic. I didn't really see any human parts.
If you looked at the robots, think about this: the robots, if they looked kind of Iron Man-ish.
Yeah.
A Battlestar Galactica Cylon-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Baron? What's the Micronauts? The bad guy from the Micronauts.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that character from the old comics,
yeah,
that's all that looks, which was pretty cool. I like the way they landed, the way they flew. It was like the MCU with Star Wars in that type of way with the Dark Troopers, which I think the Dark Troopers are going to have the force sensitive abilities that he made them
because he was using Grogu's blood and they were doing all those experiments and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see and wait on that. But yeah, we have some dark times ahead with Grogu now being in the hands of the big bad Moff Gideon. And we got to see Grogu, though, on the ship. He was using his force abilities. I think this is the strongest we've ever seen him use them.
And enjoying it.
Toying with the stormtroopers.
Yeah, he was tossing them left and right like rag dolls, and that's not a good sign. And we know he's done that before because if you go back to the other episode when he started force choking Cara Dune.
Yeah.
So there's a nasty side to him that we have not fully seen yet.
That's why Ahsoka said it goes dark.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happened in that time period? Maybe he was trained by, you know what? You ever think about maybe Darth Sidious, the Emperor, took him from the temple knowing that this was going to happen and hid him and had maybe the Inquisitors train him? Because you got to think about he's seen the dark side. He knows the dark side.
I feel like he was more bounced around. I don't think he...
Yeah, I think he was escaped. Somebody had him. Then they got killed, and he got bounced somewhere else.
Yeah, I feel like he's just been like a lost puppy. He's just bounced around.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if Sidious knows about him, but I think like that last group that Mando took him from might have been like holding him hostage.
Yeah.
For a ransom, and they've been on the run from the Emperor. They never really said who had him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about this. He was captured. We don't know how long he was with the cartel when Mando got him from there for the bounty. Because you think about it, was it before Return of the Jedi? How many years was he with the cartel? After the Emperor died, the Empire fell. They found him, they grabbed him, and they took him, and they were holding him for because think about it, on the black market, you could probably sell the child for good money, good credits, and whoever's ever had. See, that's another thing too. We still haven't seen the cartel, the leader of the cartel that Mando took the child from. That still can come into play.
And there was a bounty. How many bounty hunters had trackers for him, and that cartel was still
everyone.
Yes.
Everyone easily turned him in. So they've got to have they had to have had an ulterior motive to not turn him in.
Yeah.
For something else. I mean, it could be a faction that we're not aware of that's actually aligned with the Alliance.
Yeah.
the Black Sun, Crimson Dawn. Still, you gotta. It's gonna tie in.
They could have been Bobbin for all we know. We never really saw who had them. They could have been the Bobbin network. They hate the Empire.
Yeah. No, there's definitely more parties at play here. And because there's more parties at play, we know there's multiple, as Finnick alluded to, there's more. The bounty is higher on Grogu's head. And she said it was so high that you could buy 10 suits of armor for what Grogu is worth right now. So there's a lot of people hunting him down. And one of the key quotes that we have to talk about is Boba Fett made a little bit of a pact with Mando in the beginning of the episode. Said, you give me the armor, I'll ensure Grogu's safety.
The safety of the child.
Safety of the child. And now that Grogu was in Moff Gideon's possession, he came up to Mando and said, we're in your debt. I have my armor. Now we need to make sure that the child, Grogu, is now going to be in safe possession. But the way he worded it, he did not mention Din Djarin's possession specifically.
And so when Boba Fett mentioned the fact that, our part of the deal is not done yet, the child's not safe yet, until then, he made a comment, and Fenn and Shan gave him like a look with her eyes like, what are you talking about? I think Boba Fett's going to double-cross Din Djarin.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all a ploy. He lost his ship. Moff Gideon, keep him near you. Keep the enemies close.
Yeah.
Keep him near you so we know where he is.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So Mando's going to get double-crossed coming soon. And, maybe, like, do you want to go in left field? Grand Admiral Thrawn hired Boba Fett to get the child for himself. And him and Moff Gideon in different factions. Because, remember, Ezra Bridger is still with Grand Admiral Thrawn.
And now that the Empire could be shattered into a lot of different pieces. So we don't know, like Moff Gideon could only be leading one section of these loyal stormtroopers and generals and everything that he has. But now that we know Grand Admiral Thrawn is in play, we don't know. He could have 10 times the resources that Moff Gideon has,
You have to
and he could have a feud with Moff Gideon. He could be like, no, I don't.
Well, they could be other sides, trying to piece the Empire back together.
You could have Moff Gideon like the dog Vader and Grand Admiral Thrawn as the Emperor relationship.
Right.
And it can go that way, where now Moff Gideon gets the child. Like, think about it. Vader always wanted to knock out the Emperor. Moff Gideon probably wants to knock out Grand Admiral Thrawn because it holds him back to be who he is. So it's going to be like a power struggle. And we're going to find it out. I don't think this season.
No.
Next season, we're going to find out more motives of what the whole.
Well, we only have 2 episodes left. We only have like an hour and 20 minutes of Mando left for the year. It's crazy. It's sad. It's really sad.
Sad.
But we have lots of content on the horizon. We will try our best to keep ourselves busy until the Boba Fett miniseries or Mando season 3 or a Bad Batch or whatever. Yeah, we're gonna find a way.
Kenobi.
Yeah, I'm excited for Kenobi. Kenobi's gonna be awesome. And speaking of, we have to talk about really quick, because you mentioned Kenobi. How pumped are you guys for this new holographic Obi-Wan Kenobi, limited to 3,000 pieces?
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
now, I know there's some contention. I know with the lottery and everything, but I'm excited.
I'm excited. When I sent it to you and I seen it, you're like, "Is this real?"
I did. Just because there's so many custom pops and there's so many fake posts on Instagram now that look like real stuff. That's my first reaction. I was like, is this real? And then when I confirmed it, I was like, oh my God, this is real. Like,
so that mold, the minis, the Star Wars minis that came out, they had a holographic Obi-Wan. That's the same holographic, but bigger size now.
Right.
And it's like, really? So put your cash aside.
Save up your money. Yep.
Somebody. It's gonna end up. Yeah, that's an instant grail right off the bat.
I hope one of you guys get it. One of us, we can get it. I hope. But if you really think about it, you might have to go in our pockets and get it. And if you could find it cheap, like the Boba Fett, like I found the Boba Fett.
You did.
That's 1,000 pieces. This is 3,000. But
this is 3,000. We have a better chance. And I was talking about this with another person too, who they were really worried about not being able to get it. And I was like, look, let's just take a step back. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a big name in Star Wars. However, he's not on screen right now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not yet. So because he's not on screen, his show is coming, but we don't even have a trailer. They haven't even started filming until next month. We have time to get it before it really becomes popular. And on top of that, it's 3,000 pieces. It's not 1,000. It's 3,000. Boba Fett was 1,000. It was very, very limited. I think it's an attainable pop as long as the lottery system releases most of the stock with the drops. That's the one key thing. We don't know how many they're going to release with the drops. I know there's 2 drops, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to release 1,500 each drop. They got 2 drops. They could hold them back.
Mm-hmm. So 2 drops, and they'll probably hold some back.
Yeah.
For like other things too. Maybe you might get them in the Hollywood store. They might have them drop there. Like
they might have it at HQ. Yeah, they might. Yeah.
But
I don't know. It seemed like because Funko really didn't plug it though. It was Star Wars that plugged it. So I'm wondering if they said we want this pop, we want the distribution rights for it, because it was all through the Celebration website. It wasn't like Funko never announced it. It was all through the Star Wars Celebration site. So I'm wondering if they're taking the reins on this one, and then it's because it's all controlled by them. It wasn't an enter in Funko. It was all through the Star Wars site.
Well, and it was also really late too. Like, how come this didn't drop during the Star Wars Celebration week?
Yeah.
They only dropped the concept pieces that were in Celebration, maybe because they didn't have enough time. Because think about it.
Maybe.
Celebration, they didn't have an online thing. They didn't have a virtual con. They had nothing. They just dropped it. That was a big mistake. That was a big mistake with Disney and Funko and Lucasfilm not to have not Funko, but Lucasfilm in general to have a virtual con itself. They could have had the whole virtual thing, had stars talking. They could have made it a big thing, but they choose not to do that, which made no sense.
Yeah.
And now you're going to find these random drops. Because look, we're not going to get any con until 2022. So
any in-person con. I mean, we'll still have these virtual cons and these frustrating drops and these, constant just going back and forth. How do I get this pop? What do I have to enter? Am I going to get selected? How much is it going to cost? Like it's a lot of going back and forth. So I think it's way too early, Nick and Luke's. I think it's too early to estimate how much this pop is going to be.
If you win the lottery, how much is it going to be? It's $20. They said that on the site.
Oh yeah. If you win the lottery, it's retail. It's retail. If you win the lottery. I thought he meant if you didn't win the lottery.
Oh yeah, no. How much it's going to be aftermarket? That's on.
But I think it's one of those things. Aftermarket. Now we're starting to see. I don't know how much you guys are tracking the Marty McFlys. I really wanted Marty McFly, so I've been looking at it. But if you're tracking them, that the prices of them have been coming down.
Mm-hmm.
They have.
They're always high up at launch.
Yeah, but Boba Fett's been the opposite. Now we've also had Boba Fett on screen with Mandalorian, so it's a little different. So Boba Fett's been trending in the other direction. But some of these other limited pieces, typically if you wait 3 months after they drop, they will go down because the flippers, they just want to get out. They're like, all right,
I got to get out and get on to the next thing.
I paid $20 for this, and if I can get 100, 200, boom, let's just do it because I triple, quadruple, quintuple my money. Let's just get out of it, So, yeah, I know. I saw last night Franchise Kicks had 5 for sale at $500 each. But if you guys noticed, I didn't see any of them sell. I didn't stay up to watch this whole auction, but nobody was buying them for $500 each. So it's not like people were jumping at the gun to grab one. And 500 is a ridiculous amount for that one. That was
what pop? Which one are we talking about?
The Plastic Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a cool pop, but I'm not paying $500 for it.
How many pieces was that?
3,000.
Was it 3,000
same as Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So
3,000 is actually the limit of the highest they really go. You never really find the pop 5,000 pieces like Star Wars stuff or like an individual property 5,000 pieces. It's mostly 3,000, 2,000, 1,500 in that range.
Factors of 5, yeah. But
listen, we got to get that Obi-Wan. We have to use the Force.
We will. One of us will get it, and we'll be able to show it off for everybody. Or if somebody else gets it, please post pictures on your Instagram, whatever, so we can check it out.
I emailed my dad and told him to fill out an email for it. So he's gonna go, I got this thing in the mail. I don't know what to do with it. I mean, hold on, I'm going to send you an armor case. You put it in there and you send it back.
You send it. That's gonna look nice. You know what?
Oh.
It looks like it's gonna be a nice piece, like the mall.
Yeah.
And we all know
It looked gorgeous in like the box that it was even designed in too. It looked really nice.
So Dylan brought up a good question. Anyone notice Thrawn only got a name drop and his pops had a huge spike, whereas most Boba Fett pops have only gone up slightly, and he's in the show. What's up with that? Now you guys are probably going to say the same thing I'm about to say. What's the difference between Boba Fett pops and the Thrawn pop?
There's only one Thrawn pop.
There's only one Thrawn.
Only one Thrawn.
So all the flippers can go out and they can grab it and they can go, oh, you want this guy? Great. It's the only one.
Yep.
That's all you got.
I think if they drop the new Boba Fett pops, the old ones will start going up again.
Oh, absolutely.
They'll have the new, every time they come up with something.
The old ones are slowly creeping as it is. I mean, I'm slowly seeing them. And the same thing with Ahsoka. They're climbing too.
Yeah. No, and well, Ahsoka is a different story with that. There's only a few.
Mm-hmm.
It's closer to the Thrawn situation than it is to the Boba Fett situation.
Thrawn there's only the one Thrawn. So
and there's only 6 Ahsokas, and I'm waiting for if they're gonna drop an Obi-Wan limited pop, and of course we have Boba Fett limited pieces. It's only a matter of time before we get a limited Ahsoka pop, and when that pop hits the market, we can't sit
on it. It'll be over with the hood up.
You talk about saving your money. That's something you got to go for.
You know, it's really it gets annoying when you know these pops they drop them and you just spend $500 on 2 hot toys, or $500, $300 on the Razor Crest or something. Then the pops come out and you're like, you know,
you're the reason I can't get one, Randy.
Yeah, Randy's got all these General Grievuses. He's hoarding them. That's the same thing. That's why the General Grievous pop holds significant amount of value. That's the only one.
Yep.
So,
where's the 6-inch General Grievous, the 4 arms? Come on.
I know. One of these days. But we'll see. But speaking of all these pops, how about a giveaway? Now, I didn't advertise it for everyone tonight, but we've had 20, 25 people, guys. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us and chilling in the chat. So I got a little treat for you guys. I have a pop. Speaking of value, Dom and I have talked about this. We've given away a few of these, but we really think this pop is going to go up. And this is just the classic Mandalorian from last year. And it's a very, it's his classic pose. And you guys know the blue box vaulted pops are insane money right now. Mm-hmm. And who's to say that the same thing can't happen to these OG Mandalorian pops?
Yeah, because we took the Mandalorian logo off the newer ones. They're not on them.
Right.
The first series all had Mandalorian on them. The new ones don't.
Right. So
the new ones are going to be Din Djarin when they come out. So
absolutely. All right, so we're gonna come up with a question for you guys, because I know you guys have been here for quite some time. I appreciate you guys hanging out, and we want to test everybody's knowledge, see how much you're paying attention. So what do we think, guys? What's a good question to see who can win this pop tonight? It doesn't have to be too hard. We don't want to make everybody's head hurt.
How many stormtroopers were killed in the episode?
There you go.
That might be a challenging one.
That was a bunch.
All right. What were the 2 objects that were left when the Razor Crest went bye-bye?
Okay, that's a good one. I like that. So when the Razor Crest was destroyed, what 2 objects were left? And Mando picked up both of them. So whoever can everybody's guessing with the stormtrooper. All right,
that's good.
I'm gonna rewatch the episode. I'm gonna count it. I'll get you a body count.
There we go. All right, cool. I like it. Tacos. All right, let's see. Somebody got it. All right.
Flip Cake, I think, has it.
Flip Cake.
No, wait, no. Hang on. It just scrolled past.
All right.
I can't scroll back up. For some reason, my computer won't scroll.
All right, so we're looking for Spear and Knob. Let's see who got it first. Now,
Dylan put Staff and Ball. Does that count?
I'm gonna go with Collecting with Red, because he even put Best Jar, close enough. Best Car he got the even though we don't subtract points for spelling here on Mando Mondays.
Alex
So,
Trebek would have, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Damn spell check.
All right, collecting with Red. Congratulations, you won tonight's prize, the classic Mandalorian with his signature side pose. I'll even throw in one of our classic pucks for you. So just shoot me your address at Slapshot Pops on Instagram, and we'll get you your prize. So trying to do it a little bit differently instead of just selecting people's names in a chat. So
Quick question to go back on when Boba and Fennec Shand was talking to Mando.
Yeah.
Boba Fett made a comment. Sometimes faith finds the wretched.
Yes.
And that's a key. The wretched. So there's a lot of things like little that
nuggets
might happen.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do you think Boba Fett's on the road to redemption, though? Because the way he said that he's been given a second lease on life?
Yeah, but he's still Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, it's not like Darth Vader from the dark side and a lot of these bounty hunters. Yeah, look at Din Djarin. Din Djarin was bad and then became good because of the child.
Right.
But Boba Fett, yeah, he almost died. Fennec Shand almost died, and they had a second lease on life. But there's still, why would you bring up the bounty is triple on the little guy? You could buy 10.
I think she may have brought that up to show that they're not in it for the money. They're not in it. They're not
the opposite. When is Boba Fett not in it for the money?
True.
No,
he wants the armor though.
When she made that comment, you could buy 10. Why would he want to buy 10? He wants the child. He's not looking for the bounty.
Yeah.
That's something to think about.
I think he was going to say whatever he had to get his armor.
Yep.
Now that he has his armor, there is nothing stopping him. He's got his armor. He's got Slave 1. That's it.
But Mando gave him the release, and he said he wasn't going to do it. He said, I promised your child, I promised the safety of the child, and I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah, but he said the safety of the child. Safety of the child could be in anyone's hands.
Look, when he went up, when he went into space, he said the Empire is back. You catch that. He had to know the Empire was still lingering around. He wasn't like out of the loop.
Yeah.
That's one. Two, remember when Fennec Shand was telling him, go up there, intercept. Oh, stop. He goes, come back. Why is Boba Fett like listening to her? Like, okay. Boba Fett's Boba Fett.
Yeah, Boba Fett doesn't listen to anyone, especially somebody who's technically in debt to him.
Yeah. He goes in the life.
These little things that there's something big, like somebody else is in the picture that is definitely going to make his way or her way later on. Grand Admiral Thrawn, it could be the armorer. Who knows? Maybe the armorer. We don't know about her backstory. But the key is that there's other people in play. And since you have your enemy, Mando, with you, like I said, you know where he is. He's not out.
Yeah, keep your friends close and your enemies close.
So you can keep tabs on where he is.
Yeah. Have a good night, Anthony. Thanks for stopping by. I think it's like a little bit reverse psychology. I also think there's some stuff they threw in to throw us off the scent. I definitely think a double cross is coming, and Boba Fett, he worked for the highest bidder.
What did Beckett say in Solo?
Don't trust anyone. And that includes me. Yeah.
So you got to look at it that way. And as much as I love the whole Mando teaming up with Boba Fett and that whole getting the team together. Look, we even talk about Mayfield. Mayfield is another guy.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that part yet. Mayfield, bringing him back in.
He's an ex-Imperial sharpshooter.
Yeah.
You don't think that he's still allianced with the Empire, knowing that they're coming back?
And he's definitely got grief with Mando, too. So
of course. Yeah, he's going to help him. He could be the double-crosser. It could be a double-cross. Like, it could be one of those type of scenarios. We don't know. Yeah. But, and also, like, Fennec Shand, she was an ex. She worked with the Empire, too.
Yeah.
Boba Fett, his whole...
They're all dirty. Like, they all have shady backgrounds. It's so.
So
that just adds to the
Yep.
thickens the plot. It just
Yeah.
adds. To the
You know,
show.
everybody's it's going to come down to like a big Mexican showdown where they're all just going to be standing there looking at each other with guns pointed.
with the child in the middle. Yeah.
it'd be
And
like
the
episode 6
force
from
choke
last season.
somebody out to pull a trigger, and it's all going to go down. And
Look, I don't think Bo-Katan, Axe Wolves, and Costa Reeves are going to show up at the to help him in this episode coming. They might pop up at the end of look. Another thing too is Bo-Katan. She wants the Darksaber. Do anything to get the Darksaber. Who's to say that she doesn't double cross Mando?
Right.
She might not, but give or take. Look, Mando is in the position where he's trusting too many people at one time now. Something bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
The whole theory with Grief Karga. Maybe he is the one behind everything.
It's powerful enough, though.
No, I think he's kind of like he's happy where he's at now. I think he's not. He's respected now. He's
a big fish in his pond.
Yeah.
But he's nobody in the ocean.
But he was the head of the bounty hunter guild.
Just on Navarro, though.
Yeah, just on Navarro.
Yeah, but we'll see. Look, another thing too is I have a feeling someone's going to die.
I mean, it's usually how these things go down. So
I mean, they took out Queel in 11 last year. So I mean,
Cara Dune
go down.
I don't think they're going to get rid of Cara Dune. She's going to stay.
No, she's a very likable character.
Yeah.
Maybe the two guys, the Costa Reeves and Axe Wolves, is going to get taken out in Bo-Katan's team, and she's going to be by herself.
Well, those are kind of expendable characters. We don't have a lot of invested in them. We don't even really remember or know their names.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Bo-Katan for the most part, but I think
they got Bo-Katan. She's too big.
Yeah, they're not going to take out Bo-Katan. I think there's a lot they can do with the Night Owls. We're definitely going to see Bo-Katan. We're definitely going to see the Night Owls again in the finale. I mean, if there's anybody that's going to show up to his aid, they're your best bet because Cara Dune's off doing her own thing now. Grief Karga, I don't think there's enough in it for him to show up and help. He's already helped Mando. They've already sent him
Cobb
off.
Vanth?
Yes, Cobb Vanth is another prime candidate. However, Cobb Vanth needs something to fight with. He needs his own armor. He needs some weapons. He can't just show up like, hey, what's up? I have some really badass hair. Let's do this.
But you know what? It's not even the armor. Remember I told you it's not the armor that makes the man makes the armor?
But you need armor.
You do.
Yeah.
But you do. But at the end of the day, if you have training and you have some type of you're good at shooting guns and good with doing things, you can get by until armor comes along. I still think that Cobb Vanth's going to get armor. That they're going to
always going to get armor because they want to make more toys. I mean, going to get armor. But the other thing I wanted to bring up is, and they came to his aid in episode 3 of last season. What about the other other Mandalorians from his clan? They relocated their hideout. Who's to say that they couldn't come in at the last episode and lead a small charge against Moff Gideon and stormtroopers and everything?
Look, he's going to need help against the Dark Troopers. We all know that.
Yeah.
But his clan disappeared. It could have been a fake out. Maybe the armor faked him out. Like she could be behind everything and said, "This is the armor. This is who's left of the clan." And maybe it wasn't their armor.
The clan is still out there. They just had to relocate. That's what they said.
Well, a bunch of them got wiped out though in that scene.
Some of them got wiped out, during the big battle. But a few of them have to be out there. They have to be out there.
There's something more to that. Look, I like the stories. Remember the TV show Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah,
on BBC.
Mm-hmm.
How something in the first episode, 3 seasons down the road, they put a certain situation from that episode, and they wrap it up 3 seasons down the road, and you're like, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
that's what they could do with this probably.
Yeah. We'll see. We got our next episode on Friday. I'm excited. We got lots of stuff to look forward to. I do want to wrap this up a little bit earlier tonight just because I want to take a break, go grab a bite to eat, and get ready for our next live stream. We're doing a double live stream tonight because we have a lot going on this week, and we're trying out something new tonight. We're going to be watching a Whatnot auction live via YouTube. And if you guys are interested or want a heads up, we are doing our next Whatnot auction on Wednesday. We have plenty of Star Wars fire. We have tons of pops up for sale right now. Crazy good deals on a lot of stuff. We want to try to get as many pieces in different people's collections just in time for Christmas. We're going to have some Boba Fett pops. We got some Mando pops, of course, some child pops. So if you're looking for specifically Star Wars, we got some Obi-Wans, whatever you guys need, come over, hang out with us Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Jason, thank you so much once again for coming on. If you guys are not subscribed to Colorado Pops, go check them out. They just hit 200 subscribers. I believe you're doing a giveaway pretty soon.
Yeah, actually Wednesday night. I didn't realize you were doing it. I think so.
No, that's okay. Everybody's got stuff going on, but it's great.
My work schedule's been crazy lately. So yeah, we're gonna go live Wednesday, same time you go on. So I'll probably won't be on there because I want to get on your auction too.
That's okay.
So we're doing our 200 giveaway on Wednesday. We're part of the big Christmas box swap that's going on. If you caught Pop and Duo's video this morning, it's 80 YouTube channels on their Christmas swap. So our video drops on Thursday. Yep. So check that out along with all the other ones. I believe if Jeremy from Let's Start a Pop Collection's in here, I think he's still in. He's on it too. So it's really cool. We actually just opened our box this morning and recorded it. And we had some really cool hits on it. So it was a real fun video to shoot. So I'm excited to get that one out there.
Nice.
And I've been watching what everybody else has been getting too. It's been a really cool thing among 80 channels. I mean, that's huge.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we got that coming up, and yeah, we're pushing for the big 250 now. So we're just trying to hit that.
That's awesome.
We're on the road. We're almost there. I think we're up 215 or something. I think right now we're plugging along. Not as building as quickly as you are, but you crank out like 4 videos a week. I can't keep up with that.
We don't sleep. We don't sleep.
We don't be young.
My co-hosts have to sleep, so they're not always here all the
time. My editor in chief, whatever you want to call her, she needs sleep too. So I'm blessed to have a lot of help and support from you guys as well as a lot of other great people in the community. So yeah, we wouldn't be able to do what we do without all the motivation. But last thing I have to promote, my man Dom. We're working 2021. He's gonna have his channel. We're gonna come up with something catchy. Maybe we'll just be blunt and call it Dom Was Right. And you guys can just come over and hang out. But go check him out on Instagram. He just hit 2,000 followers. Go give him a follow. Check out some of his pictures. You will not be.
Get a good look at that Slave 1 toy he had out there.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
And even though it blew up, he will have the HasLab next year, and that would be an amazing thing to do a video on.
That's going to be a video, a box opening video. I'm going to have that.
Oh, that's going to be See, Gianna's excited, dude. You're going to have a crazy following. So we're really excited. So I got 12 minutes to take a break, go to the bathroom. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will be back next Monday night, and super excited for episode 7 this upcoming Friday. So I hope everybody has a good week. Dom, Jason, thank you for coming on. And
you got it.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
All right, guys. Have a good night. I will see you guys in 12 minutes.
Definitely.